Manchester United host Brighton this weekend. This is your match preview in a must-win game for Ruben Amorim and Manchester United. I emphasize must-win because we have to build on the momentum that we've got off of the Liverpool win and the Sunderland win before the international break. I've got some match facts. I've got presser quotes. I predicted 11, and of course my keys to victory. So let's get into it. Match is 12:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Kickoff 9:30 a.m. Pacific Time for those in the West Coast. 5:30 p.m. British Summer Time. Anthony Taylor will be your match official with Michael Oliver on VAR. Should be 8 degrees Celsius, 47 degrees Fahrenheit. That's going to be a chilly one for the players. It might rain a bit too, which will just make it extra miserable. Domestically, United are in ninth place with a win over Liverpool last weekend. Still celebrating that one. Brighton right behind us in 10th place, having beaten Newcastle at the weekend. So look, already on paper, you couldn't get a closer matchup than this, right? I mean, even the goal differential is something like 11 goals scored by United, 12 allowed, and then 12 scored by Brighton, 11 allowed. I mean, you can't get any closer than that on paper. So, like, this is going to be a tight match already. Anyway, Fabian Hertzler had this to say. He was asked about Kaoru Matoma and others in terms of injuries. They're all close to the team, so maybe one or two of them might be available for tomorrow. Asked about Carlos Baleba. He says, I think it's very important to understand that we saw a lot of really good actions and really good behaviors from Carlos against Newcastle. I'm very pleased to hear this from you, as I didn't read it because I'm not on social media, but I'm very pleased to hear that he feels that, and that's always the most important thing, how the player feels, and that he feels that he's getting back to his own best. This was in response to a tweet that Baleba said about feeling like himself again. To continue the quote, it says, now it's about all the behaviors and all the actions he showed against Newcastle, to make these behaviors his habits. You only make these behaviors and these actions habits if you do them consistently. That's his next step. I saw him training this week and it was impressive. He is getting more and more back into a good shape, and hopefully it can continue with his performance tomorrow. Herschel was also asked about Manchester United. I think they play a more direct, more vertical style. They play more long balls, trying to target Sheshko, going with a lot of players for the second ball, trying to win the second ball, and then continue on their wings to try to attack the box with a lot of deep runs. They have a really good individual quality in their team. They can change the game with one action. Every player from them, especially in the front, can decide the game with one action. All their players have great individual quality, and therefore they're always a danger to us. We have to be alert for 90 minutes, no matter if you're in possession, out of possession, or a set piece, for us or against us, because they can score with every phase. Excuse me. I think that makes them so dangerous, this change of game. But yeah, so those are quotes from Fabian Hertzler, the Brighton manager. So he's kind of hinting at he's got our game plan figured out, or at least he's got worked out what we did against Liverpool. So right off the bat, I'll go ahead and drop this to you for free. Like, I think Amorim's probably going to change that slightly. Excuse me. Anyway, again, as I said to start, Matoma is a question mark for the match tomorrow. Hopefully he's not playing. We know how dangerous he can be on the dribble. Now on to Amorim's presser. Amorim was asked about team fitness. He said, squad is fine. We have some doubts, some issues during the week with Maguire and Mount. Knocks, but nothing serious. We shall see tomorrow. Licha is out, but the rest are ready for the game. That means Mazraoui is back. He was asked about Brighton. It is going to be a very difficult game. Brighton are really fun to watch. They are really good on build-up. They are really strong on transitions in every aspect of the game. They are doing well at set pieces this season, so they are a team who are really complete. We need to be really smart and face that game with a real focus on everything that we do, because they are a very strong team. Amorim was also asked about Liverpool. He said, we used the good spirit of winning games. We know that was a good weekend for us, but our focus is on the next game. That is in the past, and we need to understand that football changes a lot, especially this kind of club. So we are not thinking about the last game. We're thinking about this game, and it is going to be really hard to win. Amron was asked about recent form. And this is probably my favorite quote from him. He says, the first thing, we were really focused during the game, and then we played different games. We have one identity, one way of playing, but we adapt what kind of game we need to play in the moment. You could sense that the first half against Sunderland was not the same as the second half. We know how to manage that. Against Liverpool, we scored right away in the first play. and then we managed the game and played a different style because it was needed in that moment. That is a good thing. Then we have a good spirit, and sometimes when you have a good spirit, you have a bit of luck that you need to win games. Now, the reason why I like that quote is because he's hinting at being flexible a bit, and that was my whole complaint about Amram. That's why I was Amram out since Grimsby. I'm still Amram out. I haven't turned the corner yet, but I'm starting to turn the corner because I like what I'm seeing in terms of these tactical tweaks. And now what he's saying, he's backing it up with his words, because before he was saying, I'm not going to change. Now he's like, yeah, change things as needed, right? So starting to turn a little bit, Of course, the results need to follow. But again, as he said, in terms of injuries, Licha is out. Mount and Maguire are doubts, but Mazraoui is back for selection, it sounds like. So my starting 11 is here on the screen. Lemens, Shaw, De Ligt, Yoro, Dorgu, Bruno, Ahmad, and I put Ugarte in the midfield, and then Mbumo, Cunha, and Sheshko. The reason why I put Ugarte in the midfield is because Casemiro is close one to a suspension in terms of because of the accumulation of yellow cards. Also because I think we're going to need more legs in the midfield, right? Honestly, if Mount was fit, I would have put him in the midfield for this match. Um, I think we're going to need to keep Baleba occupied since he's rediscovered his form. And, Brighton they obviously like to possess the ball. So I think we need to bust that up. So anyway, let me go ahead and jump into my tactics to win the game, since I'm talking tactics now. So Brighton are in the top half of the league in terms of possession, but they've also conceded in every match, right? So what does that mean? That means that they like to get men forward to try and keep hold of the ball in the attacking half. And just like any team that does that, you have to absorb that pressure and then hit on the break, right? Because they will have players out of positions trying to create overloads down the wings and things like that, and making runs down the middle. So they're going to have bodies for it to try and control the ball. So that plays into our hands. I think we should do what we did in the Liverpool match, where we kind of sat back, maybe a little bit deeper in our own half, even let them start to get, out of position a bit by trying to create something. And then we, nick the ball off of them, poke it away, and we hit something direct to an Ahmad or an Mbumo or a Cunha, or in this case, Shesko now. Something like that to catch them out. Because one thing is that their center backs are not very fast. And so, like I said, Mbumo, Cunha, or Ahmad can exploit that. We have to definitely win the second balls. One, because Bright like to win the second ball. That's kind of how they like to play. If they do have to hoof it up the field. So we need to continue our second ball winning ways. And, I know it's easier said than done and very wishful thinking, but if we can score another early goal, that will set us up, in particular against a team like Brighton, who already likes to get players forward. They will then feel like, okay, we need to get back into this. So let's commit even more bodies forward. Let's get even further forward, which again allows us to hit that ball over the top. And I know I'm talking long ball here, and it sounds so unsophisticated for a club like Manchester United, but honestly, what's the most important? The 3 points on the board, right? Not how it looks, the 3 points on the board, which moves us up the league table. So whatever we have to do to get it done, I'm fine with. So, I think, again, it's going to be a bit of a long ball kind of game, right? We sit back and absorb, hit him on the counterattack. There's nothing wrong with that. We also do need to keep Welbeck quiet. He likes to score against United. He likes to get on the score sheet against us. So definitely need to keep him quiet. So we need to be wary of him at all times, especially on the set pieces. Now, my predicted score, drum roll, 2-1. 2-1 to United. I think it's going to be a tight match. I think it might be something like we score first, they score, and then we battle and score in the 70th something minute and then hold on, right? I don't think we're going to go out there and dominate them by any means. I don't think we're going to go out there and run up the score like 4-5-0 either. Unless they just stupidly commit players forward and we keep hitting them on the break and they're just not seeing that and accounting for that or whatever. But, according to their manager's press conference, I think he's looking out for that. So I think it's going to be something like a 2-1, right, to Manchester United. Again, our fans are going to be behind us, right? So they're going to be buzzing off the Liverpool win still. And this is how you build momentum, right? In the league table, it's how you build momentum. You win, right? The fans get behind you. They become the 12th man. And even if your team's struggling a little bit, they feel that energy from the supporters, right? So they're going to be important too. So if you're going to the match, you're watching this, please do make as much noise as you can. The boys are going to need it. But I see it going that way, like a 2-1 kind of match. I think Old Trafford will be rocking. Now, we have to win this. It will be massive if we win. It will be massive, right? It could put us in 6th or 7th place in the table, right? Because what Palace and Sunderland are just ahead of us. Palace aren't beating Arsenal. Sunderland aren't beating Chelsea. And Spurs have a tricky test at Everton. So if that goes the wrong way, or in our case, the right way, that could put us in 6th place, right? Or maybe 7th. Either way, that's up from 9th where we are now. And we're getting closer and closer to those coveted top 4, potentially top 5 positions, right? So everything's going in the right direction right now. I can't even fathom the thought of losing, right? I could maybe stomach a draw if we play well. It's a hard fought draw. But and we just if we go and we lose, even if we play well, I just it's gonna be bad. It's gonna be bad because there is so much hope built up right now for the team, for this match, because of our recent results. Right? If even if we beat Liverpool and we like drew or lost to Sunderland, it wouldn't have the same feeling, right? But because we've won 2 now in a row, Sunderland and Liverpool, um, it's like we've set that bar, of what we can do. And then it's like our goal is right there behind this glass almost. You just want to punch through it and grab it, but like, you can't because that would be breaking the rules or whatever. But like it's so close. It's such a tease. And it's just to fathom losing this match and kind of being stuck where we are or going backwards, it's hard to think about right now. It's hard to think about. Um, so I will be doing a live match watch. I'll be cheering and sending all my good vibes and whatever else I need to do to help Manchester United win. I hope you do too, because I can't fathom a loss. I mean, I it'd be hard to go and do the post match and Monday comes, it's another long week before the next match, and the whole week is just going to be false dawn Manchester United. United, fell apart. United aren't where we thought they were. They aren't back yet. All the hoopla, blah, 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 blah. Right? And then to hear it from all the Liverpool fans, they're going to be like, see, you guys just got lucky against us. You know, you caught us, in bad form, blah, 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 blah. Right? So I can't fathom a loss. We can't lose. We can't lose. We can't lose. We have to win. We have to win. Tell me what you think in the comments. Let me know. But we have to win. There's no other if, ands, or buts about it. So anyway, I think that's all I got for you. I'll leave it there. Like I said, please do like, subscribe. Like if you want us to win, and subscribe if you want us to win. That's double the positive vibes right there. Like and subscribe if you want us to win tomorrow. If you don't, well then I don't know why you're watching me. Right? You're obviously not a supporter. So anyway, we have to win. So I'll see you in the next one. Peace.